And we're back! Greetings and welcome to the 8th edition of BigBadBatrep. This week we got my vampire counts against Lonnie's ogres. Open gaming at the club continues on Wednesday night. A bunch of us are registered for a tournament coming up here in the Minneapolis area, the North Star GT. It's going to take place at Fantasy Flight Games. Really cool place. Anyways, we've been bringing 2,200 point lists down to kind of prepare for that. Test our metal. So we'll see how that goes here. This week, I'm not doing Hex Wraiths. I made a little mini Scream list, so I'm going to test that out and see how that does. You can see here I got a Mortis Engine and a couple Banshees along with the Terrorgeist. So onto the lists. My army this week is led by a Master Necromancer, no Vampire Lord. He's got the Black Periapt, which lets him store dice from phase to phase and a ward save. Got a Scroll Caddy in there, a level 1 Vampire who knows the Vampire spells. He is set up with Aura of Dark Majesty, -1 leadership power, and 2 Banshees. I got 3 units of Dire Wolves, a big bus of Skeletons, 2 units of Zombies fill out my core, 8 Crypt Horrors, a Spirit Host, Mortis Engine with the Blasphemous Tome, and a Terrorgeist. I didn't get Lonnie's list. I know he had a Tyrant with some stuff, level 2 Butcher with, he didn't have the Hellheart or Dispel Scroll. A unit of Iron Guts there for the characters, 8 Bulls, 2 units of 3 Mournfang, 4 Lead Belchers, an Iron Blaster, and a Stonehorn to round it out. I'll look at deployment. All the terrain you see here is mundane. We got 3 forests, 2 one-story buildings there, a little hedgerow, a 3-story tower type building. That graveyard thing toward the back is, we just call that difficult terrain. He's got his stuff spread out pretty good. That's, how ogres do it. My guys up top they're pretty in close proximity to the Mortis Engine. That has a lot of special rules. It's a good support piece, and I'm going to try to maximize on that. And I got wolves there on the flanks to hopefully chaff up and do their deal. Here's a pick of my Mortis Engine for those of you that haven't played against one or don't know its rules. At the start of each turn, you roll 2d6 and it dishes out an aura of regen. If you don't have it, you get plus, or you get a 6 up, and it adds 1 to your regen up to a max of 4 up. So the Crypt Horrors are there, the Terrorgeist. I got Zombies and my Skeletons there too. You can see the 2 Banshees in there, and the Vampires in the second rank behind the command. Back to the Mortis Engine. It also has a Banshee Scream that it can do, and that aura that it kicks out for regen also dishes out d6 strength turn number hits to enemy units within that range as well. So it's kind of a nice support piece, but it can also dish out some damage because it's a chariot. Here's a look again at my deployment on the left flank, pretty bunched up to maximize the Mortis Engine effect and maximize my Scream potential. Remember, I got 2 Banshees, the Mortis Engine can scream, and a Terrorgeist. So that's kind of the plot of this list, scream at stuff. Here's just a cool pic of my Spirit Host lurking around in the cemetery. I thought that was a cool pic. Spells, my level 4 gets Invocation of Nehek, Van Hell's Dance Macabre, again, money, Hellish Vigor, that's Reroll the Wound, and Raise Dead. All pretty good spells. My other 2 level 1s, the Necro and the Vamp, just take Invocation of Nehek. Lonnie's got the level 2, he gets Bullgorger and Troll Guts. So I got a level 4, he's got a level 2. And I got the Black Periapt, and the Mortis Engine also gives me +2 to cast spells from Lore of the Vampires. Bad things happen if I miscast near it, but it's worth it. I'm pretty much going to be 2 and 3 dice in spells. I think I'm at a big advantage here. Vanguard moves, the wolves move up here to get all chaffy. Hopefully, well, there's some buildings there. He deployed those Mournfang on the one side, so he's kind of has himself over there on that side for a bit, so I'm going to try to chaff him up and keep him over there longer. On the left side, my Wolves Vanguard up just a little bit to maybe put pressure on that Iron Blaster or just anything over there. We roll off for first turn. Lonnie's got +1, and I'm going to win it. So here we go. At the beginning of each vampire turn, when the Mortis engine is on the table, I have to roll 2d6. That's its aura in inches. Again, that dishes out the regen and does hits to enemies within that thing. So I roll a 9. It's a good start. There are no charges at this time. My movement, I pretty much kind of move everything up. The spirit host gets up, moves up to get in a chaffy position, and everything else just advances slowly. The wolves over here do a little bit of shuffling and moving around to get in optimal chaffy positions. Winds of Magic is 11 to 6. If you've been watching my channel, since I've been playing VC, I've just been having huge magic phases. And it's starting out this way too. To rub things in, I channel one. So it's 12 to 6. I try to get off two invocations, try to do some zombie farming. Lonnie dispels those. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning. Lonnie came on, well, he's been playing 40K down at the club for a long time. He got involved in the campaign and started up an ogre army, and he's got some good amount of paint on there, but he is a relatively new player to fantasy, and he'll make some mistakes here. But again, he's new. And hopefully, he learns something. Um, so he dispels the two ions from my guys, and then I get a boosted Van Hels's Dance Macabre off, and you can see the extra movement that happens as a result of that in this picture. And I also get off a Raised Dead. I raise some zombies up in front of those lead belchers. Here's a pic of the freshly raised zombies in front of the lead belchers. They're just gonna, do the chaffy thing. Vampire count shooting phase. I got a lot of screaming going on. The Banshees and Mortis engine are not in range of anything. They only have 8 inches. But the Terrorgeist here screams at the Iron Blaster, and I roll a 10 and obliterate it. Ogre Kingdoms turn 1. He charges the Mournfang into those wolves, and he charges his Iron Gut unit into the wolves. Probably just, collecting some points here, and the middle's kind of congested a bit, so he's probably going to try to just work around this way while getting some points. Another look at the Iron Guts and characters charging the wolves. Here's the rest of the Ogre movement phase. I said earlier Lonnie's kind of new. He doesn't move his bull unit up there in the middle as far as I think he should have. He maybe was scared of getting charged, but the Mournfang in the back there kind of clogged up by his stuff, so I don't think that's going to work out for him. Magic is 5 to 4. He casts Bullgorger on the big Iron Gut block. He can have that. I just let him do that. And then with his remaining dice, he tries to cast Troll Guts and fails to cast it. I don't think I made a note last magic phase, but my Master Necromancer has the Black Periapt, so I have 2 Dispel dice remaining here. I'm going to stash them in that, so I start out next magic phase with 2 power dice in my pocket. Nice little trinket. Shooting the lead belchers, shoot at the Crypt Horrors. There could have been a better target. I think he could have shot at the Terrorgeist, perhaps. He opts to shoot at the Crypt Horrors. They shoot d6 shots each. He only rolls up 9, which is way less than average. He ends up getting 1 wound on them. And of course, the Mournfang eat the wolves quite easily, and they reform like that. Same story here with the Iron Guts. That's not even a thing there. They completely destroy those wolves and reform like such. And an aerial shot of post turn 1. Everything's kind of lined up here. I got my zombies in his backfield. The Spirit Host is still in a good position to do some chaffy stuff. I'm trying to decide if I want to go after that Stonehorn, because I know it can't hurt me. I don't know if he's got magic weapons in that Iron Gut unit there. So, yeah, there it is. Vampire Counts turn 2 starts off with the Mortis engine rolling 7 inches for its aura. Again, everything will get a regen boost there, and any enemy units within that distance take d6 strength 2, because that's the turn number this time hits, but nothing's in range of that. VC turn 2 action is charges. I charge the zombies into those lead belchers. That frees up a little lane for my Crypt Horrors to get into the flank of his bulls. He holds for that. And you can see my other movement. The Terrorgeist flies up. He's still in range of my general, which is in the right corner of that leftmost zombie unit there in the center. He's going to scream at those Mournfang. everything else kind of shuffles up, and we're getting to VC Traffic Jam. I love playing them like this. And the Banshees also there are advanced. You can see they got a good bead on the Stonehorn. Another look at those charges. Crypt Horrors can get, well, they got two guys in there. They just kind of barely snuck by those zombies. It worked out good. You can see the Terrorgeist is ready to scream, and the skeletons are at the bottom there. Winds of Magic is 7 to 5. I channel one for 8, and remember I have 2 in the Periapt, so now it's 10 to 5. That Periapt is really good for giving you good magic phases. Um, I try to cast a invocation, a small one, and he dispels it. Then I get off a 12-inch one from my Master Necromancer, and I'm going to make a bunch more zombies. You'll see what happens there. Here you can see the more zombies taking place. That 12-inch Invo made more zombies in the combat with the Lead Belchers, his own unit, um, the unit on the bottom there, and also fixed the unit or the wound on the Crypt Horrors. I also get off another boosted Van Hels's Dance Macabre, so everything kind of moves up. You can see that action here. The Mortis Engine moves up in that little crevice, and things move up. I also get off a Raised Dead and make that unit of zombies in front of my Necro unit there between the Spirit Host. I also store 2 dice in my Black Periapt after all that. Shooting phase, the Terrorgeist is going to scream at these Mournfang, and I roll up a 10. He's got full wounds 16, their leadership 7. That's 9 wounds. I just melted a unit of Mournfang. I've been having really good luck with these screams in the last game and continuing this one here. It's pretty insane. They're also very fickle though, because when it pays off big time, and when it fails, it doesn't do anything. The Mortis Engine does its scream at the bulls that are in combat, and they're within 6 inches of that vampire. You can see there in the second rank of the skeletons. He's got Aura of Dark Majesty, so they're -1 leadership. They're technically leadership 6 now, and I roll freaking insane again. I think I roll a 9, which is +2 with the Banshee is 11. Yeah, I do 5 wounds, so I get an Ogre and 2 wounds on another one. Now the Banshees still have to scream. And between their 2 screams, they scream the Stonehorn off the table. Again, I can't remember if he's within 6 inches of that vampire there, but the 2 screams do it. Yeah, the screaming's getting it done here. That's what the list is designed to do, and so far I've had really good luck. But again, with 4 screams, hopefully some of them do something. And this turn, they all did extremely well. Combat here with the Crypt Horrors in the flank against the Bulls. I got 4-up regen again because of the Mortis Engine. I got Van Hels's Dance, so I'm rerolling to hit, and he doesn't do any wounds to me. He's in the flank there, and I go to town on him with rerolling hits and poison. And this is what it looks like after that. He's lost by a ton. He's not steadfast. He's gonna need Snake Eyes. And he gets it. Snake Eyes. The Bulls are hanging on. That's I don't know if that's good or bad for Lonnie, but either way, I'm glad something went. He got to roll something, and it was pretty cool. In the Lead Belcher zombie combat, I had created a lot more zombies there prior. He's only got 3 guys in contact, so that's 9 attacks, and he gets kind of flubby between his attacks and stomps. He only kills 4 zombies. I do 2 wounds back to him. Again, I'm weapon skill 1 ASL, but I'm rerolling to hits from Van Hels's, and I do 2 wounds to him. And I beat him in combat. He breaks and is run down by the remaining zombies there. They pursue through the Terrorgeist and just avoid going off the table. But wow, I mean, that's not supposed to happen. I mean, that's a free unit of zombies. I raised them in a prior turn, and they just took out a unit of 4 Lead Belchers. So Ogre Kingdoms turn 2. That was a pretty devastating turn for Lonnie there. He got his Mournfang and his Stonehorn screamed off the table, and his unit of Bulls is in big trouble there. He's pretty chaffed up from the Spirit Host. We talk about it. He admits, he's like, well, I don't have any magic weapons in there. I'm like, well, if you charge it, you'll have a charge, a banner, and a rank. So you'll do 3 wounds to it, but you'll be stuck there, and you can combat reform if you want after. He doesn't like that idea, so he just reforms them to face the VC mess there, the traffic jam I love running, and he advances the Mournfang up as well. Magic is 6 to 4. He gets Bullgorger off on the bulls. I mean, I don't really care at this point. I'm just trying to save dice. He throws the rest of his dice at Troll Guts, gets a miscast 7, casts it with irresistible force, does a couple wounds to his Iron Guts, but everyone in there's got 4 up regen. There's no more shooting on his end, so we go to combat. The Cryptors with the bulls. I got 18 attacks there, still Van Hels's, so I'm re-rolling. You can see all my poisons after re-rolls and my hits. You get those Cryptors with Van Hels's Dance Macabre. They're only strength 4, but against these bulls, it's good enough. I mean, it's nipping 1 off his armor save. He's rolling 6 ups, and he's got no parries in the flank, so they're going to town on them. The end of that combat looks like that. He can't weather all those wounds. He needs Snake Eyes again. No luck this time. He breaks, which his standard bear goes away, and his last guy there flees like that. I can't pursue because those skeletons are in the way, so I just reform. And here's just a pic of what it looks like after that. Vampire Counts turn 3 is coming up. Mortis Engine rolls a 7 for its aura, so that's still doing good. No charges for this turn. I basically just reform everything to face him now. I got his stuff pretty chaffed up. Again, on the right side, I got zombies covering there. I got that other big unit of zombies behind. With my Necro in it, I can throw that away. That's not a big deal. And I still got a Spirit Host in play there as well. Playing a little redirect game there with that. After channels and the Black Periapt, magic is 12 to 7. Again, I'm getting good phases. I think I actually channeled 2 here, plus 2 from the Black Periapt. So it's really helped me out here with magic. Plus, it's my level 4 against his level 2. He's really outmatched. I get a boosted Van Hels's Dance Macabre here again, and I move my stuff around as such, covering my angles. I move the Spirit Host to the other side of the Iron Guts to make him go that way, and I create another unit of zombies in front of the Mournfang with Raised Dead. Yeah, everything's full here. I got big units of zombies. The zombies up top are reformed, and they're looking down. It's just zombies, zombies, zombies. Shooting phase Screeeeam action. The Terrorgeist screams at the Iron Guts and does nothing. The 2 Banshees scream at the Iron Guts and do nothing. The Mortis Engine screams at the Iron Guts and does nothing. Yeah, those screams are fickle. Like I said, fortunately for me, I think I got the game under control at this point, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Lonnie's turn 4, he charges the Mournfang into those zombies that were raised in front of him. You can see I moved my Spirit Host with Van Hels's Dance. I think I misspoke earlier, but that goes up there to the other side. As the game's been played here, we've been really in close proximity of each other, and I've been trying to do that Vampire Counts traffic jam thing I love so much with the Scream list. Lonnie, like I said, is a newer player. He didn't have Hellheart in his list. I think most Ogre Kingdom armies take that. In this particular game, at any given time, he could have popped that, and that's 3 miscasts, all on my central stuff. That could have done a lot of damage, but that isn't what happened. You can see at the top of the screen there that Ogre's still fleeing. He's below. He's just going to keep fleeing. Lonnie's magic phase, I didn't write it down here. He tries to cast the bubble version Troll Guts. I got a ton of dice, Black Periapt, I'm carrying them over. I use my Dispel Scroll and then chuck a couple dice to dispel his Bullgorger. There's no Ogre shooting. Combat, of course, those Mournfang completely destroy those zombies and overrun into the zombies that were made by Raised Dead in a prior turn. Vampire Counts turn 4. Mortis Engine rolls a 9 for its aura. This is actually going to do a couple wounds to that Iron Gut unit and give everyone on my side regen boosts again. For charges, he reformed his iron, got blocked face, my stuff directly there. I'm going to charge my Spirit Host into the flank of those Mournfang. Um, Not that I think that that's going to help in that, but I need to get them out of the way because I want to charge my Cryptors in the flank, my Mortis Engine, and my Skeletons into that big block and just, try to run in there and see what I can do. So that Spirit Host needs to get out of the way. It makes its charge. I mean, it needed like a 2 or maybe even a 3. That's successfully out of the way, and then the Skeleton Bus, Mortis Engine, and Cryptors come in there like that. Magic is 5 to 4. Again, I got 2 from the Parry Apt, and I think I channel one again, or maybe I don't. But I got a big dice advantage again. I get a boosted Van Hels off, which is going to let me, re-roll the hits in combat. But I don't really need much help at this point. Shooting phase. That Vampire is in the second rank. It's close and personal, and with that Iron Gut block, everything there is -1 leadership. Terrorgeist screams, and does a bunch of wounds. Now we're allocating at this point for the Banshee screams and the Mortis Engine scream, and pretty much take the unit down to not much left, and a couple wounds on characters here and there. The impact hits from the Chariot. Actually, well, we have to randomize those because they're per shooting, and they take out the last guy from the Iron Gut unit and put, I think, 1 or 2 wounds on his caster. My Vampire calls out a challenge to the Tyrant from the second rank. He can step up there and displace one of that command group from the Skeletons. It kind of makes my little mini character wall on the Skeletons. There's the 2 Banshees, which are ethereal, and my Vampire is kind of set up for challenges, or mainly just surviving. He's got the Seed of Rebirth, which gives him a 5-up regen if he's by that Mortis Engine, and Beguile, which makes a model and base contact take a leadership test at -3, -4 with his vampiric power, and if it's failed, he has to reroll hits on him. So that's pretty good. We're actually, I think, striking simultaneously here. I don't remember how this went, but he has to take a -4 leadership test, and he fails that. He doesn't do any wounds to me. I think I do a wound to him, but between combat res and all that business, he ends up breaking, and we chase him down. That's pretty much the end of the game here. We call it. The screams worked really, really good. I had one turn where they just flubbed and did absolutely nothing, but as it goes. So a little recap. It was a pretty brutal game this time around. Again, I said Lonnie's a relatively new player. He's only probably played 8 games of Warhammer. I'm practicing. This is for a GT up here. It's pretty. I think a pretty fairly well put together list. Obviously, the Terrorgeist did a ton of damage here. The Skeleton Bus definitely played his part, taking out the Stonehorn and just, the Banshee Screams really helping out. The Mortis Engine, again, just priceless if you can keep that thing alive. And the Spirit Host there, my miners that got lost, they did a really good job just kind of threatening with redirects. And it really panned out. The Scream list is a lot of fun when it works. I really don't know what I'm going to take to the next tournament. I got vampire counts here. I'm doing a lot of paint on the Beastmen, so I want them to be an option when October comes around. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next week.